we're gonna do some quick exercises on NanoHub. So I am Juliano Gianlupi, nice meeting you, doing my PhD with James, as he pointed out. Also working with CompuCell on development and making simulations for it. So we're gonna go through using CompuCell on NanoHub, but it's pretty much the same thing as using it on your desktop. We are recommending you use it on NanoHub, again, to avoid installation issues and things like that. So, workshop resources again. All the files for you students will be in that Google Drive that is using it on your desktop. I think you have an echo, Jim. So yeah, the files will be on the Google Drive. There's a link to it on the workshop page that you can find going to CompuCell3D.org, and then here, 2020 workshop. And they will also be in Slack. You should really join the Slack. We are making announcements there. We've created this student materials channel where we're gonna post the files as well. You can find it by clicking on my pinned comment here. If you're not on it, it should put you in the student materials channel, or coming here in add channels and browse for it. So on NanoHub. Well, first, CompuCell3D is a software, much like Microsoft Word, that is used to both build simulations and run them afterwards. To build simulations, we have Twedit, a model editor, but both programs are pretty much like Word. Word is not a Word document by itself. It's something to write text files. So first thing is to go to nanohub.org, then click on login. We're probably gonna see it because your NanoHub is gonna be bigger. In my case, I have to click there in menu and then login. And just do the login to your account. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Now, to find the tool we're gonna use, we are gonna go to that same login, or in my case, menu here. Click on dashboard. And then here on my tools, that should be on the right, go under all tools and search for CompuCell 3D, all one thing, space V4. And you should find this, sorry to make this bigger, this CompuCell 3D main tool. You can already hit the heart there to make it a favorite. And then you can click on its name. It's gonna take you to this about page, and you can hit launch tool there. Or instead of clicking on the name, you could have clicked on the square there, and it will launch it automatically. Oh, in my case, I have a bunch of tools already open, so you can only really have 3 tools open in NanoHub at the same time. So I'm just gonna terminate the old ones that I had. Yeah, I don't know why this got disorganized, but yeah, you can click here to open the tool directly. Gave a message access denied. Try that link, Ratnan, and let's give everybody a second while CompuCell loads up here. So yeah, you're gonna be met with this blue screen, and it's gonna take a while until CompuCell actually loads up. But once it's here, it works like a desktop program. You can minimize it, maximize it, and you can also change this whole. You can see this border on the outside, this thick blackish border. You can change how big that is by dragging there on the lower right. So yeah, it has angiogenesis here because it was the last simulation I opened, but that's fine. If you open the V4 main tool, it's all good. Might have been that you've used CompuCell on NanoHub before or something like that. But right now there's no simulation actually open and running. Yeah, so follow the link that I pasted on chat, nanohub.org/tools/cc3d base for X, because there are several CompuCell tools, one for each example. But the one you want, so you can see several of them. The one you want is this one, CompuCell 3D V4 main tool. But most CompuCell tools can open each other simulations, so it should be fine. There are a few tools that are old and are not compatible with newer simulations. Yeah. So yeah, just as a desktop program, and you can resize. You're probably gonna want to make it bigger. I'm making it smaller just because I have half my screen instead of having all of it. And if everybody is here, I'm gonna carry on. So as some of you have guessed, we're gonna start by using the angiogenesis simulation. But to get it open, we're gonna go in here to File, then Open Simulation File. Then the most important step that you have to do is to not open anything in this folder here, because this is not under your user, it's apps, blah, blah, blah. The first thing you have to do is click on your user there on the left, and that's the most important thing. So after you've gone to your user there on the left, you can go into here, CompuCell 3D demos. And if it's the first time you've opened CompuCell V4 on NanoHub, you're only gonna have demos in here because I've opened a few other simulations. I have those other two. Then after going in demos under CompuCell 3D demos, we want to go to book chapter demos, blah, blah, blah. And finally, angiogenesis will be there. And we can open angiogenesis CC3D. So from the start, file, open simulation file, click on your user on the left, CompuCell 3D demos, book chapters, it's that tree there, angiogenesis. Now you can kind of finally click open there. If everybody's good, carry on. So what we want to do now is to actually have the simulation run. You can see these 4 buttons here. They are for playing the simulation, which is gonna tell it to run and keep running. But no demos. So you got the CompuCell V4 main tool. It should be under CompuCell 3D demos. Further sees data. That one. Yeah, no, that's not the one you want. So are you sure you opened the right tool? Just this one. No. Yeah, try to open that one, and if not, people on the chat can help the other instructors. So, okay, after we've done this, which is being on a dashboard, searching for CompuCell 3D V4, getting the main tool open, then in here, coming in File, Open Simulation File, your user, CompuCell 3D demos, book chapter demos, angiogenesis. We can hit play, and we can see that this weird box appeared here. That's a bug with the current NanoHub deployment. You can just drag it a little bit in there, and it's gonna fix itself. So we can already see some spoilers on mine here. Let me close that. But what the buttons here do is play. It's gonna run and keep on running. Pause to pause it. You can step it a single simulation step, so we can see that 230 and should go to 231 there. Well, 132 anyway. And stop, which is different from pause because it's gonna completely stop the simulation and run from 0 again. And because I ran from 0, the weird console appeared again. But again, it's just a matter of a tiny drag on that lower right thing. So what we can see here is that I have a bunch of red cells in 3D, whereas you're gonna be seeing a bunch of blue cells in 2D. So you should be seeing this. This is a 3D simulation. So what you're seeing right now is a 2D cut of the simulation on XY on the plane 25. You can change the plane, for instance, to 2, which doesn't have anything there now, and anything else. Let me put it back to 25. And you can do cuts in the XZ direction as well, or going in 3D. And in 2D, you can also come here on visualization and have the cell borders plotted. This is all in the slides later on. Yeah, now take the cell borders off because in 3D they sometimes make it run very slowly. Okay, now let's watch the simulation run for a bit, and we can spin this around, pan it. So to spin, you click and drag with your left mouse button and to drag it around, you click and drag with your right mouse button. You can press R to reset the zoom and panning. Zoom you can do with the scroll wheel, as you might imagine, and or middle click, drag. So let's wait here a bit for play around with the camera controls, and let's also give people some time to get to this point. Sorry, I stopped the share by accident. Um, Hello again, sorry, my computer crashed there. So let me get set up again. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, hello again. I hope that at least my computer crashing gave you some time to get things running. Okay. So yeah, Yeah, you're just meant to run it for now and plan it a bit, get used with the mouse controls. And yes, you should be seeing blue instead of red, because now we're going to play with the visualization options. So I teased that you can have the cell borders in 2D. In 3D, historically, it made it run slowly or crashed CompuCell, but I think it's okay now to use it. And that's all for the visualization menu, really. But you have way more options. We can go on here, the tools menu, and open configurations, or straight up click that spanner and key icon. Yeah, so hitting R on my keyboard, reset zoom. Unfortunately, it doesn't reset the angle, but if I push it out, it's gonna bring it back. But yeah, so other configurations here on tools, configuration, and that's how I change my cells from blue to red. Or here on those tools there. So in here, we have several stuff. We have output, general settings, cell colors, which right now is a blank table, field, 3D, etc. So if I actually have my simulation playing, which right now is stopped, again, have to redo that. Can come here in configurations. Now I can see under cell colors there that the cell types that I have, endothelial, is set to be red. But I can set it to be anything really, like that green cyan thing. So hit OK twice, and now they are that color, whatever that color is. And I can resize everything in here. Have more room. And the other menus are going to be imported later on, like the output. You can already see some teaser here that you can set how frequent the cells here are going to be updated. So if I hit play and you're paying attention, it's going to, you see there that it's going on in steps of 10. That's one of the options in configuration that we are going to go back to. So the R, so if you have the graphic 0 window selected here and you put the cells to the void outside, if you hit R on your keyboard, it's going to bring it back. And the same is true, I believe, in 2D, because in 2D you can also change the zoom or drag it out. And if you press R, it's going to bring it back. But yeah, 3D. Then yeah, general settings, no need to mess with that. And for now, the only thing really is the cell colors. I had make them red because since this is angiogenesis, it's related to blood, so it makes sense to have it red, at least to me. But I mean, personal choice. So yeah, now I have them blue again, and also in fields, this it's gonna be more useful later on during the week, but it's important to note that you can change how the field ranges there. That's it for here. So yeah, just again familiarize yourself with the tools menu. The only thing really to play around right now is the cell colors, but take a look at the other stuff to see if there's something that catches your eye, like that field there that we're gonna get back to. Or here, where it says invisible cell types in 3D. Yeah, the slide decks are on Google Drive. So one thing that can happen with CompuCell is that the cell field may, on rare occasions, just disappear and have a black window. But thankfully, you can have as many of these graphics windows as you want. I had a second one at the beginning, but I got rid of it. And to create more, you can come here on Window, New Graphics Window, or on that window over window icon there. And those are independent. So now I have this one in 3D and this one as a 2D cut of the XY plane on 25, which I don't know how useful it is right here, but we can also change it to VEGF, which is the only chemical in the simulation. So when you have chemicals, you can change between cell visualization or VEGF, or the chemicals that the simulation has on the drop-down menu. In this case, it's only one. And now it's more interesting to have cell borders, because in here with the VEGF, we can see how the cells are indeed clustered on the high concentrations of it. Yes, you can save both the 2D and 3D windows. To make sure that both save, you have to click there on the cameras, and they are going to be saved on a subfolder on this workspace directory here. Whatever you have set there. It's probably just your user CC3D workspace. And we can also visualize the chemical field in 3D. In that case, it can kind of see that it looks similar to the cells there. And these are the iso curves. So the surfaces for which the chemical concentration is equal. But anyway, it's kind of hard to understand in 3D. You can't create new windows. So if you click here, it doesn't add a new one like that. And saving of the cells is automatic, and we're gonna go back to it later on. Nothing happened. Can you try through here? That is strange. Huh. Okay, and you are on NanoHub, right? Cannot change colors. So here on general cell colors, you cannot click there and choose something else. Oh, do you have your simulation playing? If you have it stopped, like, so now I can see that it is stopped because the stop button there is grayed out. Nothing will happen when I click there, there will be no cells on the table of colors, and there's nothing I can do because there's no simulation open. You need to at least hit step to have it actually open, and then you're gonna be able to actually change stuff. Okay. Let me resize this again. I have more room. And if I have it playing and I create a new window, just as a note, it's gonna pause. So if you create a new window and you wonder why it's taking forever for anything to happen, click play. Now we can see how things change there, and there, but it's kind of hard to see all three at the same time. But thankfully, CompuCell, not on Macs, unfortunately, you can come on Window and click on Tile, and it's gonna organize stuff for you. So Window, Tile. So if everybody got this working more or less, we're gonna go over to uploading a file to NanoHub. Okay, so on to upload. Because NanoHub is public, there are restrictions on things that you can upload, and there's also restrictions on how to upload because security, pretty much. So we have to go back to your dashboard. So if you are here, you can actually keep this one open because we're gonna come back to CompuCell later on. You can open a new NanoHub by middle clicking there or right clicking, open link in new tab, or open a new tab in nanohub.org. And then we want to go back to your dashboard, which is under login up here, or menu if you have it, the window shortened, and dashboard. And come to all tools and then search for Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter with an Y. And because you can have 3 things open on NanoHub, we are still good to have this open together with CompuCell. You can also use Tellurium that you used last week, but for this, uploading and downloading files, it's easier to do with Jupyter. So I'm gonna get Jupyter open. Same thing, you can either click on its name, and it's gonna take you to the About page, or straight that box there for the launch. And here's the important part: to be on Slack, you should have these files under student materials, and it should also be in Slack under student materials. So the ones that we want to update right now is the colonic crypt. And by the way, here on student materials, there are some files that are just useful. So Twedit menus is going to explain all the Twedit menus, and CompuCell menus is going to explain all the player menus. So it's useful to have that with you as well during the class. To get to Jupyter. So you go back to your dashboard. Same thing as we did with CompuCell, really. You find the My Tools. It's probably going to be in Recent. You select all tools there, and you search for Jupyter with a Y. Then it should be there, Jupyter Notebook. And again, I recommend favoriting by hitting the heart. Then you open it as any other NanoHub tool. Click the name and click Launch Tool. So make sure that you have either the downloaded the files from Slack, or you already have the student materials folder open. Then we're gonna, so with Jupyter launched, its front page is actually your home directory with all the files and folders that you may have there. I probably have way more files than any of you. So what we want to do, well, here's the instructions to find Jupyter. Search for it on the dashboard. You can use Tellurium, but again, Jupyter is going to be easier. Then on Jupyter, you can see here it has upload. So once you click there, it's gonna take you, it's gonna open a open file thing as per usual with uploads. So you have to navigate to where you have your files saved. In my case, I have the student materials Google Drive on my computer, so they are here. So what I want to upload is here, workshop exercises, the example colonic crypt. And I'm also gonna upload another file, although I don't think we're gonna use it here. So this one is under student materials, CC3D project, extract, IPy, NB. So upload, find the file, click open. And they are gonna be here at the top with a confirm upload button there. And also important, before uploading files, in this case, they are all good because we named them all right, but it's important for the NanoHub files to not have spaces in them or special characters. So just alphanumerics and underscores. And if you got here already, you can just click on upload to confirm the upload. In my case, I already have the file there, so I have the overwrite message. Okay, so the link to the files, this one. Oh, let me copy the link here. Okay, so there's the files link, but again, you can also find them on Slack. And the files you need to upload are just are this one. So student materials, well, we don't really need this one. I don't think we're gonna use it right now. The CC3D project extract dot ipnb, and in the exercises and homework folder under student materials, the example colonic script. Yeah, colonic script and the project extract. That's it for now. Later on during the week, we're gonna have more to upload more, but so you can upload the others as well if you want to save you work later on. So yeah, after it's there with the upload, you have to hit upload to confirm it. Project, it is actually. So it's here. It's the final message I sent. But because it's actually a text file, so Slack's kind of being weird with it. But yeah, then upload to confirm it. Disappeared. This we're not gonna do right now. So should be under workshop, exercises and homeworks, example colonic crypt, which is also here on Slack, example colonic crypt. So I've put a reply to it here, so you can click, if you are using Slack, you can click on that link there. It's also pinned on the channel, so you can click here at the top, and it's gonna have only the pinned messages to make it easier to see. And don't forget to hit the upload to confirm. I already have the file here, so I'm not gonna. Right now, this is how to use that extract file, but we don't need to use that right now because Twedit can actually unzip files. And you can also organize your stuff here if you want to. So you can select, you can see new here. So you can create a new folder. Say, new folder. Why is it not opening? Oh, here. Created a actually untitled folder. I didn't pay attention. So you can select that new folder. Let me actually select. You can select stuff and delete them. Since I already have a bunch of untitled folders, I'm gonna delete them. Then I'm gonna create a new folder, which is gonna appear as untitled folder, and I can select it and rename it here. I say workshop. So you can organize things as you want. So now I could, if I wanted, select the colonic crypt here, come here at the top and select move. Then I have to actually type out the name of the folder. So workshop, and it's gonna move that zip here. But you don't need to do it. Just nice to know that you can organize your stuff if you want to. Okay, so that's it for uploading. Now we can go back to CompuCell. That if you left it open, it's going to be there waiting for you. Otherwise, you have to go to your dashboard again. And if you favorite it now, CompuCell V4, it's going to be under your favorites, which I have a bunch of. Or I'll choose CompuCell 3D, no spaces, then space, V4, main tool. Yeah, you can use it on your desktop. It's all going to be the same things. You're just not gonna be, not need to do the whole uploading stuff. But we prefer if people use it on NanoHub to avoid installation issues and things like that. So now I'm gonna show you how to use CompuCell to unzip that simulation. And to do that, we have to open Twedit++ from here. So again, you have two options, either File, Start Twedit++, or this icon here with a paper and pen. No, you don't need to create any folders. It's just if you want to create them or organize your stuff, you can use Jupyter to do so. So you can use here new, create new folder. You can select files to move to different directories, or rename them, delete them, etc. So here, let's open Twedit. So File, Start Twedit, and it's gonna open. And it's just another desktop, so I can switch in between them. Now we want to actually open the zipped project. So we can either use CC3D project, open CC3D project, or select this up arrow over a thing there. So let's just click there. Again, most important thing, going to your user on the left. If you didn't change where the zip file was, it's gonna be here on straight up on your user. I've moved it into the workshop folder. Then you just select the zip file, and then Twedit is gonna unzip to a new folder it's gonna create with the name of the zip file. So example crypt. In my case, under workshop. In most of your cases, under your user. That's it. I have it open and unzipped now on NanoHub. So if I actually come back here, we can see that there is a zip and there is a new folder. Same thing, select the zip and select open. Sure thing. So from here, from player, either select there that paper and pen icon to start to edit, or here on file, start to edit. It's gonna show up, and it's just another desktop software. So you can, after you have it open, you can switch between them. Then here on CC3D project, open CC3D project. You navigate to where your zip file is. My case is in workshop, but if you didn't move it, it's gonna be here. And select the zip file to open. Because I already extracted it, it might throw an error now. I'm not sure. Yeah. Cool. So now we have it on Twedit and we actually have it extracted. So just a quick aside, if you double click it, the name here on this left project panel, it's gonna expand all of the files of the simulation. We are not gonna look at them right now, but a CompuCell simulation consists of several files organized in a structure. Usually there is the CC3D file, and in the same folder as this .cc3d file that we've selected to open, there's going to be a simulation folder with more simulation files there. So in this case, we only have 2 Python files, but there can also be... Did you hit the upload confirmation in Jupyter? But there might be other files like a XML file that we are gonna use a lot, and other files such as .dat files, or probably for field chemical field configurations, and PIF files for cell configurations. So, but we are gonna go over the structure later on. So now we can go back to CompuCell, and again, it's just as your desktop, so you can switch between them. So we go back to player, and now we are gonna open the colonic crypt example. So we go to File, Open Simulation File, CC3D. Most important thing, select your user. Then navigate to the CC3D file you want to open. In my case, in your case, it's probably gonna be under user, example colonic crypt. In my case, it's user workshop, example colonic crypt. And there it is. In player? Oh, you can't click that because you have your simulation running. So now that I have this running, after it solves how to layer things, if I come here on File, pause. It's grayed out because you already have a simulation open. So you have to hit stop, and then it's gonna allow you to open a simulation. So yeah, what Anurag said. So yeah, select the CC3D file and hit open. Nothing is gonna change because it's not actually loaded yet. So now if I hit step, it's gonna do that thing again. Okay. I don't know why it's so bad. Then it's gonna open up. We opened Twedit++ to show it, to be fair, and because Twedit can unzip the files, player cannot. So the only thing, the file we uploaded was this one, the .zip. So we had to, in player, select file, start Twedit++, go over to Twedit, open CC3D file, then select the zip file. We can see the zip file here on their workshop where I left it, because Twedit knows what to do with zip files. If we take a look on player, to stop this, if I would look on player, here on workshop, there's no zip file because player doesn't know what to do with it. So that's why we open Twedit++ to unzip the file. So again, we open Twedit, either there or file, start Twedit. In here, CC3D project, open CC3D project, or that arrow there. We selected the zip file and hit open, and it gave us a question on, do you want to unzip it there? We said yes. So just deleted the extract so that I can show it again. Yeah, then it unzips. Where are people getting troubles? Crashed how? So you weren't even able to upload the zip file, Anna? And how exactly does it crash? When you are trying to unzip the file, when you're trying to open it on CompuCell? So when you are uploading the files, so they're upload, right? Project extract, and here, colonic crypt, upload, you have to confirm the upload of them. Then we came back to NanoHub, to CompuCell. We didn't have Twedit open. So are you sure that it is? So make sure that you have the file actually uploaded on Jupyter. So it should be here, one of them. And this one. Or no, colonic crypt. What is? Are you sure you have the right tool, Veronica? Because old tools, previous versions of CompuCell couldn't see, Twedit didn't know how to open a zip file. So make sure that you have CompuCell v4 main tool open. And okay, yeah. So yeah, make sure that you have the right tool, CompuCell v4 main tool, and make sure that you've selected the confirmation of upload. Make sure that the file is there. Then navigate to where the file is. Here, example colonic crypt, and hit open. And it's gonna extract. Oh, in my case, I already had that folder, so it didn't extract, but I can delete the folder and do it again. there, extract, we extract there, that's it. And you can still see the zip file there, just in case something went wrong with the unzipping. But if you try to unzip now, it's just gonna throw an error saying that there's already a folder with that name. Okay. Everybody's good. So after extracting, we've opened it up here just to see that there are files in there. Then we came back to player. Just do this real quick. So if we left your previous simulation paused or running, you're gonna have the open simulation file gray out. So make sure that you have the simulation stopped. Then open simulation file, your username on the left. Find where you have your thing extracted, which probably is going to be your username example colon encrypt, and select the CC3D file. Then let's hit step because this particular simulation is, it takes a while to load up to organize the cells since it has a kind of complicated structure. So this simulation is by Furkan. He participated on the workshop last year, and he also taught this on the workshop last year. So this is also a 3D simulation. And let me, before going 3D, I'm gonna uncheck the cell borders just because it sometimes makes it slower when you go 3D. So if we go to 3D, we can see that it is a cylinder in the middle with a sphere end inside a container. Right now there are no blue cells showing up there in the middle because of the 3D options. So if we go back to CC3D preferences, we're gonna go over why there are two Python files eventually during the workshop. Just know that it needs those two files for now. So yeah, in 3D, if we go to tools configuration or the tools there, we can go in 3D and we can set some cell types to be invisible. Now, the blue cells shouldn't be invisible right now, so there might be a bug with 3D visualization. But you can make other cells invisible, like this. So everything in CompuCell are cells. Okay, so even though this green thing on the outside is just a container, really, that is playing a part of more general intestinal structures that keeps the colonic crypt as a crypt, it still is a cell, defined as a cell in CompuCell. Same thing for the middle red thing, which is there to keep shape of the crypt. So you can make any quote unquote cell invisible in 3D. For instance, let's make the green thing invisible by taking note that its number here under cell colors is 2. So we go here on 3D, we keep 0 there, we add a comma and add 2 there, and hit OK. It's gonna think for a bit and make green invisible. And now we can see part of the blue ones, which is kind of strange. I think it's this particular simulation is doing something weird in 3D. We can see that that's not right by creating a new graphics window. That should be the same. So we should be seeing a similar thing to red, but blue going all the way down. And this is a really interesting simulation. Let me actually not do the 3D rendering because this simulation is already kind of heavy. Then what I'm gonna do is change one of these to a chemical, the chemical field that it uses. And put in the cell borders. So we can see that blue is a bunch of cells, whereas red and green are one thing. Since 3D for this simulation seems to be kind of weird, let's open another 3D simulation. So hit stop on the colonic crypt, and this one is included with the NanoHub 2. So we don't need to do anything but finding it. So your user on the left, as per usual, CompuCell 3D demos, and the one we are going to want gonna be in models. So it's probably grayish instead of being blue because you have the color, right? For the ones that I have in blue be gray under the options. Oop. Okay, so CompuCell crashed for me now in NanoHub. No worries. Let's open a new one. But yeah, you're probably seeing grayish because you set, because the configurations are set for them to be gray. Yeah. So okay, put this back. But yeah, you can make things invisible in 3D and stuff. So now say that we are later on the week. Just let me reopen things here. And we were playing around with one of the models that we are gonna present during and actually doing stuff. So actually changing the files that make up the model. So the steppable file or that other PI file, or in other models, even a XML file. So you probably want, so if you have it saved here, right, just if I add a click on 1, you can see there that it became red. So if I hit save or Command S or the double floppies, it's going to turn to blue again because it's saved, and you should have it forever on your NanoHub with the changes made. But to be safe, it's better to keep a copy on your local machine. So to do that, Twedit can zip whatever you have in the simulation. So we come here on the left panel and we right-click the CC3D file. And then we can hit zip it. I'm gonna open the usual thing. And in this case, it does go to your user, but make sure that it is in your user. Better safe than sorry. You don't have write access to other places. Then you can just give the file a name. So :encrypt. The time right now is 12:26. 26. So I'm just gonna name it that. And it's gonna be saved like that. So we can see here, there it is. Cool, but then you have to download it. And for that, we're gonna need Jupyter again. So in your dashboard, make sure that you are on the All Tools, search for Jupyter and open it up. And now you can kind of see why I just kept it open. So in Jupyter, it should be here as well. But if for some reason it isn't, you can refresh the page and it's gonna show up. Then you select the file, go up and hit download. And it's just a regular download that you are used to. You can save it wherever. So yeah, just must make sure that you were able to do all those steps. Uploading, unzipping, opening the file, the unzip file on player, zipping it back on, and downloading. And if everybody got that, that's it for this presentation.